The Pixel 7a is not meant to shock you. It's not meant to wow you with the best and most extravagant features. However, the newest A series phone from Google packs way above its price class. Let's talk. So the Pixel 7a might be a different phone, but from a lot of aspects, it's made from the same formula that the Pixel 6a, Pixel 5a, or even Pixel 4a and 4a 5G were made from too. And for a long time, those things did work on the A series Pixel. It sold very well, it was recommended very well. These phones were excellent in the mid-range Android market. I think the 7a is a wake-up call to Google that formula might just not work from here on out. So the first time that the A series formula is aging per se is definitely the charging. The charging on the Pixel 7a, while back in 2017 or 2018 might have been great, I mean now it's mediocre and even way worse than some of the other mid-range phones out there. One example of this being the A54. I mean the A54 comes with 25 watt wired charging, and even while it does skimp out on that wireless charging, the Pixel 7a doesn't do much better, as it does have wireless charging, however it is capped at a mere 7.5 watts. Not great. And the battery compromises don't stop there. The Pixel 7a has a smaller battery than last year's 6a, and it definitely shows. The battery life is mediocre at best, getting me to around like right before like the end of days, so around 10 p.m. And then it just goes dead. It's done. And that's on heavier days with 5G usage. With less usage and more Wi-Fi, you might get to the end of the day at around 10 to 15% remaining, but that's not a very confident and reliant battery that you can, rely on when you're out and about. And this is definitely a trend I've seen with the Tensor G2. On 5G, it's really not power efficient at all. I've had the same issue with the Pixel 7 Pro, and it's gotten so bad that I've eventually had to turn off turn off 5G when I'm using it. However, outside of, efficiency concerns, the connectivity on this phone is great. I haven't had any issues with Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, inside the house and all. And, the speeds are okay, not amazing. I mean, obviously, it's a mid-range phone, but there's nothing really wrong here in terms of connectivity. Now I think design is where Google tries to differentiate with its A series phone. I mean, it carries that same unique design from the Pixel 7 series and to some extent the Pixel 6 series. It's nothing special compared to those. It still has that aluminum frame that goes all around. That aluminum camera bar from the regular Pixel 7 is here. And also the back glass is made of glassic material, so it does look like glass. It's not actually glass. It will not, shatter and break like glass. But hey, at least it's more durable. However, I am a little concerned about the front screen. It does only have Corning Gorilla Glass 3. Yeah, Gorilla Glass 3. The Pixel 4a also came with Gorilla Glass 3. Not great. What you will also find on the back of the phone are the cameras. And well, the cameras are a little bit special as they are better, but worse, but also better. First off, there is a new sensor here. Very different from Google. Usually they stick with one sensor for very long, but this is a new 64 megapixel sensor compared to the 50 megapixel sensor on the Pixel 7, the regular one. However, do not be fooled by this, as the actual sensor size itself is smaller, and I'm assuming they added more megapixels to compensate for this. I do not have a regular Pixel 7 to test against this, but I can say, from experience with the Pixel 7 Pro, that this phone takes very good photos, but the sharpness and the image quality, especially in nighttime photos, isn't the exact level of excellence as those Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro photos, but they are definitely better than some of the other competition in the other mid-range landscape will probably provide, such as Samsung. They can only do so much without the processing that Google uses, and Apple with their pedestrian iPhone SE. However, I mean, this is a problem that continues to linger on Pixel phones. The video is still incredibly noisy, especially in nighttime. I mean, you put this thing in other than perfect outdoor lighting, your video will turn from okay to almost unusable unless you're just taking videos for the sake of taking videos, like just not sharing them. I mean, the video quality itself, I mean, the colors and the contrast and saturation, they're all a little bit off, as all pixels are. But it's not like they're horrible. That's not the bad part. It's just that I wish Google could fix this noise issue. And with these high quality sensors, I mean, this shouldn't be happening in 2023. If you guys do want some photo samples, here they are. Alright, so, wow, I mean, how far have we come? $450 phones are getting 3 OS updates and 5 years of security updates. This is great, Google. I mean, I love this. First off, the UI on here is simply a joy to use. I mean, it's not quite as fluid as that 120Hz Pixel 7 Pro, but I mean, you can expect that to be at around half the price. But it does now come with a 90Hz display instead of 60Hz like last year. Great improvement. We all love high refresh rate. And it still has a 1080p class panel, which is fine at the size, 6.1 inches, all good. However, I do have a bone to pick with the display just a little bit. The brightness is a tad bit on the low side. Then again, all mid-range phones are, at least it's not as bad as the iPhone SE. Yeah, I don't have any issues with this. It's a fine display that will serve you very well. On another note, with the multimedia experience, yeah, these speakers, yeah, go invest in some earbuds. Wired or wireless, I don't care. You should never use these speakers. These are like historically bad. I've owned older phones, like significantly older phones with better speakers than this. This is just pitiful, Google. Just don't even like turn the volume up. It gets worse. The more you press that volume button, it gets worse. Just don't. The speakers on this are not a good thing to listen to. So just a quick spec rundown of the Pixel 7a. Just, you know, for common knowledge, it comes with a 1080p 90Hz display with an 8 megapixel selfie camera capable of 4K 30 video recording. It has a 64 megapixel main camera with a 12 megapixel ultra wide with a 120 FOV, that means like field of view, 120 degree field of view. It's very wide, and it has a Tensor G2 processor, same as the Pixel 7 Pro. It also comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage. That is the only RAM storage configuration. There's no 12 gig of RAM, there's no 256 gigabytes of storage. That is reserved only for the Pixel 7 Pro. It also comes with 18 watt fast charging. It comes with 7.5 watt Qi wireless charging. It's not an amazing spec sheet, but then again, that's not what makes the Pixel 7a. Now I think we have to discuss the elephant in the room regarding the Pixel 7a and its slightly older cousin, the Google Pixel 7. Those phones are simply $100 apart, and for $100 you do get a lot, like faster and actually useful charging, useful wireless charging that doesn't take forever. You also get a slightly more brighter display which will help you in outdoor visibility. You get a lot of just quality of life improvements as well as good speakers that make the experience of using your smartphone overall better. But that Pixel 7 is still $100 more, and it still is a bigger phone. And when those two phones do go on sale, they'll still be within $100 of each other. And this phone, while it is a little too close to the Pixel 7, I think that it's still worth it, you know, like it deserves its spot at that $500 range. As good as the Pixel 7 is, people who are looking for the Pixel 7a are usually not the same buyers who are looking for the Google Pixel 7. While the Pixel 7a isn't a perfectly priced phone, it's still an amazing mid-range phone that provides you with a flagship CPU and an overall smooth, slick UI experience for only $499.